Great, so our final session of the day and of the conference brings together a topic that has been present in almost every discussion, AI, but now in combination with another reality, also often heard, energy. Because as AI scales, so does its impact on systems, infrastructure, and sustainability. And again, the question is, how do we make sure AI becomes part of the solution and not part of the problem or the problem itself? To start this session, we begin with a perspective that I think is often overlooked, because most organizations already use AI, but not necessarily in the most effective way. So our next speaker works exactly on that, how people interact with AI and how this shapes real outcome. He is a professor, author of international bestsellers, and has trained more than 40,000 leaders worldwide. So let's hope he can train us a bit today. We are thrilled to have him today. Please welcome on stage Bryan Cassady.
Do I have a little thing?
Where is it? Is it the right one? Yes, this is the right one. Thanks. And now we switch the presentations to Professor Cassady, please.
Hello, everybody. I wish I could do an introduction in German. I would be very happy with that, but I cannot. And we will see what comes up. So while the slides are coming up, let me talk to you a little bit about what you're going to see today. Everybody's talking about AI. Everybody's saying, oh, what an amazing thing. And some people are really negative about AI. What I think is the thing that's coming up, AI is getting better, better, and better. And the weak point in the system is no longer the tools or the technology. The weak point in the system right now is us, how we actually use AI. So I'm going to tell you some stories. Hopefully you'll learn something. If you don't, go from there. So I'm going to start with a story. A while ago, my mom came to Europe for my daughter's birthday. And as you do, sometimes you talk to your mom about your work. And I talked to her a lot about AI. She got home. I called her. I said, Mom, how you doing? She said, Bryan, we're absolutely exhausted. We don't have time to get something for dinner. We can't go out. Nobody delivers here. And she said, Bryan, can your AI thingy do something with this? Of course, you know, as mothers do, sort of trying to needle you a bit. And I said, Mom, why don't you do this? Take out your phone, take a picture of what's in the fridge. And what I want you to do is, with that picture, I want you to ask AI what you can make for dinner tonight. What did she have? She had a lemon, she had some wrinkly old zucchini. All the things came together. She tried it. And she said, damn it, Bryan, I hate to admit you're right. That AI stuff works. What she came back with was a recipe for tomato, zucchini, lemon pasta, all that stuff coming together. Now, the trick here wasn't the AI. The trick was asking the right question, coming in the right way. And what I can tell you is if my mom can use AI effectively, I'm certain you can. Now, what's happening with AI? I've asked the question all the time. My answer is everything and not very much. What I think most of you do if you're using AI is you're looking for tools. There's a site out there, and this image is a bit old, called There's an AI for That. On that site, there's 36,000 tools. And what do you think you need to do? Oh my God, I gotta learn that tool, that tool, that tool, that tool, that tool. There's always this fear of missing out. And what I want to tell you, it's not about the tools. It's about you. It's about what you do differently and how you use AI differently so that you can use any one of those 36,000 tools more effectively. So research has shown that AI can make people faster, better, quicker, more intelligent, more capable about everything that they're doing. But the facts are, less than 10% of working professionals are seeing any positive benefit from the use of AI. In fact, AI a lot of times is adding more work than it removes. And I think the issue is effectively how we use it. So I'm going to take you through a few things that we do. We do it with AI. We do it in the rest of life. These are natural biases in the way we work. I'll take you through them one at a time. First of all, there's overconfidence bias. What happens when AI gives you an answer? You think, God, that must be good. It must be right. We tend to trust it, especially when AI is giving it back to us, because it sounds confident. And when somebody sounds confident, we tend to believe it. There's a present bias. What do? I don't know what to do. You go on AI, I write your email, I write your meeting notes or whatever. Boom, it feels good. It's done. We stop. That's good enough. There's an automation bias, which is we tend to believe technology. If AI said it, it must be right. There's cognitive offloading, which for me is probably the biggest thing in the world. You get in your car, you're driving someplace, and you find out that you're about 100 meters away from your destination. But you don't know that. The AI tells you to take a tour around, and you go all the way around the block. You do a 1-hour tour, 1 mile tour. You come back to where you were. What's happened? Your brain is off. When AI is thinking for you, when technology is thinking for you, you stop thinking. There's authority bias. AI is an expert. If AI says it, it must be true. My favorite, because I do this all the time, I will actually try to trick AI to give me the answer that I want to get. There's something called confirmation bias. What we do is we give an question, we get an answer back, and we keep on prompting, we keep on asking questions until it finally agrees with us and say, wow, it's really clever. Sad stuff. But the biggest for me is we just satisfy. We just stop. And we stop thinking. There's also a question that I ask a lot of times in meetings. When is the last time that you took 5 whole minutes thinking about a problem before you reached for technology in some way? This could be your phone, it can be Google, it can be AI. How many people have done this over the last week? You're good, you're good. Really? I don't know if that's true. Yeah. So if you want to take a picture, you can get a copy of this talk. Just take a picture if you want. You'll get another chance at the end, by the way. So what I want to do is I want to teach you, quick and easy, a different way that you can use AI. There's a word that I like a lot, sparks. Sparks has something very close to my heart because it's associated with innovation and making innovation work effectively. Sparks of insight, sparks of new ideas are something that's good. And this is going to be like you were back in school. Each letter is going to stand for something, and hopefully at the end, you will remember the word, and you will do 2 things. One is you will think differently about AI, and 2 is you'll use it differently. I can make you a promise. If you're willing to do this, your use of AI will change within the next 20 minutes. It's a promise. So the first thing we have is speaking it out. Do you know how fast you talk versus how fast you type? Typically, we talk at somewhere between 140 and 180 words per minute. We type, if you're really good, 60 words a minute. One of the things you can do with AI is instead of typing in your questions, you can actually talk about what you want to do. What happens is when you talk, you think freely, you don't filter your thoughts, and your thoughts become your real thoughts. There's also something really incredible you can do as an individual when you talk, and that is what we all do as human beings. The oldest skill we have as far as communication is to tell a story. There's a book I like a lot. It's called Primal Intelligence. And We did a retrospective. We took some data that we had looking at the ability for AI and humans to generate ideas. And we had a comparison point, which was the quality of ideas generated. If we take humans, just generate me an idea for this, score 100. We give them a story about what they want to do, they get better. Because the story gives us context. If you look, the impact there of the story is actually bigger than the impact of adding AI into the ideation process. But the big number that comes up is if you take human ability, a story, and AI, what you get with the same people, the same moment, the same context, is approximately 3 times better ideas. If you remember only one thing from the talk today, what I want you to remember is the next thing. How do most of you use AI? You use it like a search engine. You use it like a vending machine. You have a question, you type it in, it pops you an answer back. You say, wow, that's pretty good. What I want to tell you is you can change this with a change of mentality. What I want you to do is to think about how you can pivot roles. Instead of you asking questions, have AI ask you questions. And I'm going to give you a prompt that you could use, which will do just that. And I'm going to read this out because I don't remember it from my head. Dear AI, I'd like your help figuring out how AI can best support our sustainability roadmap. Ask me questions one at a time about our targets, our current initiatives and constraints, until you have enough context to give a few obvious and few non-obvious recommendations. What do you think is going to happen? It's going to start asking you questions. You're going to start giving answers. It'll keep on. My guess, if you do this, it'll take you about 10 minutes. But it will be one of the best conversations you have. It's going to be as good as a conversation you have with an expert in your field, and you will come back with some amazing results. Now, the magic here is not the prompt, but it's the process. What AI is trying to do is it's trying to fill in the blanks. Ask me questions until you can do this. Does that make sense? Anybody going to try it? I hope so. Third point is asking for more. Some of you might know how AI works. Some of you might not. AI is designed to do one thing, which is to give you the most average, most predictable response to anything you ask it a question. You ask it a question, it will give you back something bland. What's the best flavor of ice cream? Vanilla. No, the best flavor of ice cream is a lot more exciting than that. What you need to realize is that ideas, concepts, things that you want to work on are grown over time. It's not the first idea with human being. It's not the first ideas with AI. What you need to do is you need to keep the process of asking for more and more. Each time you ask for more, the ideas will get better. You might even have a talk going backwards. Say, you know what, I don't like that because of this. And you keep on going. With human beings and with AI, the best way to get more insights, more ideas, is not by working harder, but it's to change the way that you work. R is about reframing what you do, to ask your question from a different way. Now, if I could draw on this thing, what I would show you is, in fact, the number of ideas that come back, the number of quality of ideas come back, go down over time, whether you're talking with AI or whether you're talking with human beings. Each time you ask your question differently, each time you reframe your question in a different way, you will get more ideas. The strongest predictor of your ability to get great ideas is the number of ways that you ask your question. A reframe each time. The magic words there, does anybody know the acronym HMW? If you write this down, You can look really clever because it's a really startup thingy. How might we do this? So in fact, you're not asking the question, but you're asking a way that you see it differently. K is about keep on going. There's a great definition of creativity that comes out of somebody else's book, saying creativity is doing more than the first thing that you thought of. If you just take the first thing coming back, it's pretty average. You keep on going, keep on pushing, keep on going, keep on pushing. S, we're at the end. One of the things that you should do if you're using AI right now is don't keep on going for a half hour. At a certain point in time, stop and think. What they've found in a lot of research is that people who stop and think get better results in general. They've done some research with companies in terms of growth. They compared companies that had strategic pauses versus companies which were go, go, go. The companies with strategic pauses sold 40% more and made 52% higher sale. There's also a stop and think moment, which is before you use AI. What happens if you don't pause and you just ask the question? What you get is the answer. The answer sounds pretty good, and you go with that. When you stop and you think, you get something dramatically different. So how are you going to work with AI? First, you have to be patient with it. I was talking to a gentleman this morning. He said, look, 2 years ago, I asked it a question, and it gave me the wrong answer. I said, okay. I don't use AI anymore. But AI has changed. It will give you wrong answers, just like a human being is going to give you wrong answers. Second thing is you have to give it feedback. And depending upon the models that you're using, that feedback will improve the answers that AI gives you over time. And you have to learn from each other. It's not a one-way street. So I have a challenge for you, and an opportunity, and I don't have my book up here. If somebody is willing to, after my talk, say, you're going to put up a post on LinkedIn, I have a copy of my book. If you tell me you're going to write something about this, I will give you a free copy of my book so that you learn something from this. It's yours for free. If you can fit into your post something about your mom or your grandma, that would make me smile a lot. My suggestion for you is take a picture of this. This is enough to get you going forward. It's simple, it's easy, and it will be something you can use. It will change. My promise to you, if you really do this, even if you do just one of them, you will get better at the way that you're using AI. And I'm going to leave you with something, a gift. I'm an author, keynote, talk all over the place. One of the things that I found out is there was a big issue with the number of people who were using my books. So we did a public experiment where I'm giving my books away for free, and my books are bundled with AI tools so that you can use the book more effectively. So if you go to www.books.genorg.ai, you will get a free copy of my book. By the way, this talk is one of the chapters in the book. You also get 13 AI tools that you can use with any book. Now, you might think I'm being nice here. Actually, what's happened, contrary to what you might believe, the more books I give away for free, the more I sell. So I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.